Good evening, gentlemen. Just sorting out the social medias and all that good stuff. It's great to see you all. And thank you for joining me for round 7 of the eDTM. And we have a beautiful 360 there. I think that was that was Dougie. Gonna have a reset. Dirk Elizondo. Howdy doodle. Is this one of the Dirks I already know? Or is this the third Dirk? Either way, good to see you. Thank you for popping by. Dougie, always a pleasure. I've just seen your comment as well on Discord. Good evening, Richie, you legend. I know you're hosting. Change the room settings. There we go. Mikey, evening. Might have a great conversation. Brother, see you after the race. Good luck to you, Mikey. You're always putting on an incredible performance, though, so I expect nothing other than a great performance from you, Mikey. And hopefully catch some of that race live with Rue when we finish. Not going to enjoy this one at all, says Dougie. Well, funny you should say that, Doug, because Dirk said the exact same thing. And Nick in the beautiful McLaren GT3 there, monster liveried. I wonder whether he's had a can of Monster. I've got my can of Relentless to the side of me, sugar-free raspberry. Want to be pumped and ready to rock and roll for this one, because we do always have a pretty insane amount of action throughout these races. Like, I think it's a real good combo of drivers, but also settings. Like, they just work. The tyre changes and the different pit stops and the different strategies, and yeah, so we should be treated to some even more incredible action today, and not too difficult a track really. So the racing should be even closer. So I hope you boys and girls are going to be treated to an absolute cracker of an eDTM race here today for round 7 of the season 4 eDTM series. I hope many of you that are watching at home will consider joining for season 5. I consider myself good friends with Diaco, Dirk from Germany. Very lovely guy and very conscientious, putting on the best possible events that we can. And of course, very conscientious of who drives and what not. But nevertheless, we are joined with Goldman again in the 24. DuPont Austin Martin. Falcons, Ricardo, hello, Drifter. Oh, are you that dude who keeps streaming the drift videos? Or have I mistaken something there? Just give me 2 seconds, boys. Just going to finish up sorting these social medias out, then we're going to be back with you live on comms. We've got a short qualifying session for the boys here today for round 7 at the high-speed ring in reverse, and then we are going to be rocking on to the race, and we are forecast rain. So of course, keep your eye out on the sky, as the heavens should soon be opening up. We've got Peter from Poland just passing us there in the BMW M6. Moomin again in the black and gold, beautiful looking McLaren. And Joe in the Porsche. Peter from Poland, the legend. Dougie, the Army veteran, joining us from the US of A with his Fanatec CSL Elite. I believe he is on the McLaren GT3 rim as well. And you can't forget Ian, a very, very active community member and a lovely dude who's just gone into the pits into with the McLaren. So for now, we'll just jump on board and I'll be back in a few moments. Oh, goal, man. A little bit of wall ride in there. So we've got a dry, clear start. We're going to have pockets of rain in between minutes. And we're going to have little pockets of rain. Sometimes it's going to be heavy. So we're going to have to be keeping an eye on the sky. Taking P2 there. Oh, happy days. I've got a little bit more information here, so I'm going to be able to give you boys and girls some more information on the drivers here on track. I think that's quite important, really. Again, to understand that there is a human behind each and every one of these vehicles. Is that qualifying go? Alrighty, I think qualifying is now underway as Goldman revs that engine, trying to get the car out the pits, and there we go. Right behind Peter from Poland he is again. Peter from had a pretty good lap in that free practice session right at the end there, so we'll see how the boys get along as they go through the first corner here at high speed ring into the long swooping left, which of course will be foot fat to the floor, and then we have a sweeping right into another sweeping left here. A very nice curve and a very nice S, very smooth roads. We've got camber working in favour of the drivers. Let's see what these boys can do. Ian just ahead, he's on the inside line. And in they go, super fast corner there. Goldman seemingly wall riding there. I'm not sure whether the stewards have something to say to that, but nevertheless, Richie Rue, DTR Richie, the man, the legend, the GOAT, crossing that start-finish line. He was the first out of the pits, and DTR Richie joining us all the way from Dublin, Ireland, in the number 314 Mercedes AMG. Time Richie can put down then, as he's going to be the first driver setting the benchmark here today for round 7 of the eDTM. Coming up to the final right-hand corner, let's see what he has got. Joe going to be second to put a time down, followed by Moomin, Goldman, Ian, Diaco and Peter, and Dirk down in P8. Crosses that line with a 109, Joe with a 108, 133, Moomin taking P1, Goldman taking P1, Ian P5, Diaco D2, Dirk P3, and a couple of cars left across that line. Keep an eye on the left hand side of the screen with the Delta. Moomin Papa a 0.16 tenths of a second, separating himself from the podium P3 there. Nevertheless, he is second on the grid on the second row, provisionally, of course. Only one lap complete. I'm seeing quite a few drivers wall ride in there. And he takes over a 10.5 off Dirk in P3 and puts himself firmly in P3 there. Diaco P2, only half tenth of a second though, separating himself to Moomin. Moomin most certainly one to watch then here today. Goldman always putting on an incredible performance, and we'll give him his dues, but he has been consistently fast. So let's have a little look at the rest of the pack while we are here, and we can just see Goldman there in the back of the TV shot there. And he's allowing Goldman to get that run through. So let's keep an eye on Diaco as he comes up to the right-hand corner, hard on the brakes. Want to shove that in as fast as we possibly can, and everyone is wall riding. Well, play to the confines of the game. Coming up to that start-finish line, can he capitalise on that 0.33 to Goldman as he comes up to that start-finish line here, the high speed ring for round 7 of the eDTM. There we go, and no, not quite able to capitalise there. Nick about to cross that line. Oh, just under his provisional time there, but under half tenth of a second away from him and Joe, who's currently gone back into the pits to get some new fresh softs on. Peter from Poland is currently just over a tenth of a second, and also just behind Nick as we speak. So we'll just jump on there. We'll probably see him and Nick make their way around a high speed ring, traversing through the S section here. And Peter from Łódź in Poland, 44 years of age. What a legendary age. What a legendary man. Always amazing to have Peter with us. And we'll just stay on board with him as Peter and Nick keep an eye on P6 and 7, the M3 guy, and DTR FM78 Nick and Peter as they cross that start finish line. Can Nick capitalise? Can Peter capitalise? Oh, not quite. So the drivers will continue to traverse their way through the section here, and Nick the M3 guy from Southend-on-Sea, 60 years of age, in the number 44 McLaren GT3. I'm liking how all these people that I like have 44 somewhere around, somewhere going on. Whether it's their age, the car number, it's seemingly hitting me in the face everywhere. Number 44. So Goldman has lost that position to Moomin. Moomin with an incredible time there of a 1:07.632. We'll just jump back on board quickly with Nick and Peter as they come up to the final right-hand corner here and cross that start-finish line. What can they do here? Can they capitalise? They're going to swap positions. Nick hasn't gone up, but Peter has taken P2. He's taken P2 and put Goldman on the second row of the grid here. Peter side by side with Moomin Papa in P1 with a 1:7.63 and only half-tenth of a second separating those two as they are side by side, and also they are right behind each other as... Oh no, sorry, that was Nick. That was Nick. Sorry. I thought that was Moomin just head there. The McLarens are confused with me there, but Peter with an incredible act taking P2 as the darkness pervades itself through the high speed ring. You can see the pops and bangs from the exhausts here. Moomin, can he capitalise on his 7-second .632 as he comes up to that start finish line? That's a no, but we've got Moomin, 53 years of age, from Gloucestershire in the number 53 McLaren GT3. Howdy doodle slip. Good to see you, my friend. Dirk, absolute legend. The man that we've been speaking so much about. Crossing that line, still not able to catalyse, but Dirk Diaco currently in my favourite position, P4. You see what I'm saying, Slip? You see what I'm saying? All the fours. Coming up to cross that start finish line then here at the high speed ring as he traverses his way through his final right hand corner here. Alrighty then, so Moomin Papa is still holding on to P1 glory then up top. We've got Diaco in P3, Dirk, creator of the eDTM, Peter from Poland, P3, currently sat in the pits, taking it nice and easy. Goldman, usually up in P1, finding himself at the back of the second row here in P4, as Dirk takes that position from P4 and moves up to P2 there. We've got Dirk Mujalina joining us in P5. Only a quarter of a second separating him from Moomin Papa, the race qualifying leader, as we provisionally continue to move forward here for round 7. Mike Lowry joining us. From South Africa. "24 years of age," from Midrand in the number 47 McLaren GT3. You can certainly see the sparks fly there, can't you? We've got Joe in the pits. "19 years of age" from Salisbury in the number 90 Porsche. And of course, Nick, the absolute legend, always putting on some pretty awesome streams, so feel free to give the legend a sub if you enjoy watching some good content, especially on different platforms as well, like iRacing and whatnot. So the heavens have opened, ladies and gentlemen. Ian is P9. And you can't forget Ian, can you? 20 years of age from Hingham in the number 26 McLaren GT3. And then we've got Richie from Dublin. Rain looks good though, doesn't it, in this view? The rain kind of looks a little bit like stars with the light on the left side of the raindrops there as well. Very detailed, it must be said. And Dougie currently getting a new set of tyres on. Dougie, the Army veteran, the absolute legend, joining us yet again from USA, Maryland, in the number 14 Austin Martin. Okay, so Ian is finishing up his lap then, and it looks as though the standings are going to be as they are moving side by side with Diaco as they occupy grid 1. And in row 2 we have Pete from Poland side by side with Goldman in P4. Dirk occupying the front of grid 3, followed by Mike Lowry. Row 4, Joe and Nick. Row 5 we've got Ian and Richie back out on the track, and Dougie still in the pits. Nevertheless, okie doke. Jeffro! Appreciate you joining us, my friend. It's always a pleasure to see you. I'm doing very well, my friend. How are you doing? How are you doing? It appears as though qualifying is well and truly finished now. And we're going to kick that off. So Moomin Papa absolutely rocking it today. And the B-rated DR driver, who never even touches the dailies, I don't think, manages to take a P1 here today. And you can see the drivers lined up on track. And away we go. We get the green, green, green. And it doesn't give me the view, so we're going to have to back out in a moment. But we've already had some drama unfold on lap 1. I'm not sure what's happened there, but we will have to have a look to see who's caught up in that. Peter from Poland is the 6th car in this tow. I'm not sure what's happened there. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually give me spectator view. So let me just back out real quick and back in. And there we go. So Moomin Papa is leading the race, followed by Mujalina, Joe in P3, Diaco P4, Ian P5, Pete from Poland in P6, and now we have Nick and Mike Lowry in tow, but Nick is 1.3 seconds away from Peter. Not too bad, but it does look as though Richie is the first one to really suffer, as he's 3 seconds away from Mike. Another second and a half. We've got Goldman, another second and a half. We've got Goldman, so Goldman's gone from P4 to the back. Again, I don't know what's happened there, but unfortunately we've had some dramas there, and Dougie unfortunately finding himself seemingly wrapped up in it all, but nevertheless we must move back on there as Mujalina has taken P1. Mujalina's got P1. We've got side-by-side action. Moomin is pushing the elbows out. We've got Diaco in P3. He's going side-by-side. It looks like we've got 4 wide coming into the right-hander into this S section, and we've got the BMW hugging the inside curbs here at the high-speed ring as we come to the left-hand section and over the bridge. We've got Moomin Papa now in P2. Dirk taking P1. Mujalina from Germany. Again, I don't know what's happened there, but Dirk is now. What's going on? My brain can't catch up. Diaco's tyres are lit up. I don't know how else to say it. Michael Lowry finding himself in P10. Now 2 seconds in the lead is Mujalina in the AMG. Moomin Papa in P2. Just out of slipstream range from a pack of 4 hungry cars, led by Peter from Poland, and Ian in tow, followed by Joe, who is on the tail end of Ian there, and Nick just out of slipstream range, but Joe has got a fair bit of traffic to contend with, so if they're going to fight it out, there is going to be time and space to be had there for Nick in the white monster liveried McLaren GT3, currently occupying P6. 1.1 seconds is separating him from Joe in the Porsche, as we see Joe go into the very fast right-hander. Quick dab of the brakes. We want to make sure we're clipping the apex there, taking the road less travelled, but making sure we really do keep high speed momentum as they go for the final right-hand corner here at the high speed ring. And Mujalina is gonna be laughing with a P1 lead, but he's lost a second. Look at that. That's a beautiful sight, isn't it? Oh, Ian on the inside line of Peter. They've gone side by side. The elbows are out. We've got contact. Fortunately, the cars are still on track. Nick, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for passing by. We've got dramas unfolding. That's no worries, Jeffro. As Joe now pushes his way all the way back up into P2, and Moomin Papa takes back P1 glory, in 2.8 seconds are separating him from that pack behind him. Look at this. This is absolute insanity. Joe fending off 3 cars, battling it out here at the high speed ring in reverse. My good God, Moomin look in his own little world, but look. And Goldman goes side by side with Richie. Takes that position for slipstream and continues to traverse his way through the high speed ring in reverse. Now, keep an eye on Goldman because he is usually up at the top, but nevertheless caught up with initial dramas here at the high speed ring. And please do not avert your eyes, keep your eyes on the skies. The heavens will be opening up and we will be treated to some light and or heavy rain as all drivers now cross the high speed ring bridge into the right hander here. Hard on the brakes. as Goldman takes the OP line there. And now the inside line of Ian, who's in the tow of Nick, the M3 guy in the McLaren GT3. So 0.4 of a second separating Goldman to Joe. Now slipstream is going to be such an important consideration, if you will, for this race, because if you consider how much time you get from slipstream just from one straight, consider slipstream for an entire, you know, track. If drivers work together, they can push themselves back up the pack easily and catch up to Moomin Popper, no problem, providing they work together. Inside line of Nick, and he takes Nick on the inside. Nick then look how much extra speed they have there with slipstream. Oh, Joe making a move on the inside line of Nick. Nick's gonna have to get his horns out and get a little bit more aggressive here. Nick's got the pace, but again, we've got slipstream to consider here, and Nick is in the front row of Joe, Richie and Ian. All were well and truly within tow of each other. Into turn one, Joe looks like he's losing out on that slipstream to Nick. Maybe Nick has indeed got his horns out and decided to just take a little bit more aggressiveness into the corners. And remember, drivers do have to use soft and medium, so that will most certainly hamper drivers' times, and more importantly current track position, because again, depending on who you're following ultimately has an effect on your end time. So you need to be careful with what tyres you've got on, who you're following, and just maximise every opportunity that is available. Maybe softs would have been good to start off with, but then if slipstream can do what it does for the medium tyre, then those using mediums may indeed have a little bit of an advantage, as we look as though we very nearly go 3 wide into turn one here at the high speed ring. Joe having to change his line there, and Richie right on the bumper of Joe's Porsche GT3 RS. The rain is out. The heavens have opened. And Richie doing a cracking job there with a 1.2 second lead over Diaco. Michael Lowry in P8, 3 seconds ahead of Dougie, but Michael Lowry and Diaco are having a big fight here. And not that far up the road do we see the rest of the pack. So if Mike and Dirk work together here, like I said, bump draft, then they could be in for a pretty decent position towards the end of this race. And Mujolina, who found himself in P1 with a 2-second lead, has now unfortunately dropped back into P9, 4 seconds behind Michael Lowry, and now having to fight off the American Army veteran who is in the slipstream of Mujolina. And Ian finding himself at the back of the pack. Moomin still with a 2.3 second lead, and you can just see the second car there. Not 2.3 seconds is a pretty decent time if you can be consistent, but you know, as you can see on the TV angles here, that's not really that much time, especially when you're driving at those speeds. You just have to make a little bit of mistake and that will close up quickly. Beautiful looking visuals here. You should be able to watch this in 60 frames per second at 1080p, so make sure you've got that applied to your YouTube settings, as it does change it, so make sure you're maximizing on your visual experience here for the eDTM Season 4 Round 7. And he's already lost 2.3 to 1.5. Peter from Poland running hot into the first of the S's there, as they now come into the left-hander and over the bridge, hunting Moomin down. Peter finding himself in a pretty ideal position here. Let's see how these boys do in these wet conditions. And into the pits for Peter. So Peter knows he's on the softs. The rain has begun, and he's going to be going for wets, I assume. Richie, Diaco, Joe also heading into the pits. The BMW boys are running their paychecks on and getting a brand new set of Michelin wets, I believe. Surely he's putting wets on. Yep, so we've got wets for Peter, and he is first out of the pits with the wet tyre on, and the rest of the drivers in and out of the pits. We've got Richie, we've got Diaco, we've got Joe, we've got Mujolina now. We've got 4 cars. Sorry, that's Dirk, Richie and Joe. All on the wet tyre. And running wide. It does take a lap to get those tyres up to 100% optimum temperature. Start on 50% of its optimum capacity, so you do have to warm them up. But look at this! Diaco P6 and Michael Lowry in the pits, Nick in the pits, Goldman in the pits, and Moomin Papa in the pits. So he did an extra lap to Peter from Poland, DTR FM 78. So let's keep an eye out and see where these boys line up, as that is Peter right there, I believe. Yes, it is. 2.5 seconds separating him. Now Peter does have optimum tyres, Moomin doesn't. 2.6 seconds are separating them. Let's keep an eye on that, but he does have to contend with Goldman, who is just out of slip. But again, when you've got headlights in the back of you, or a couple of sets of headlights, the pressure does begin to mount. So you can see Moomin, the race leader. At the front of the camera shop. And then you've got, oh, look at that, Goldman with a move on Michael Lowry. It's a shame we can't do a replay on that, but nevertheless, look at the visuals here. Please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you've got maximum visual settings on your YouTube. Get the big screen on and just revel, because you don't really get to see this very often, if at all. We've got the lights, we've got the colours, we've got the yellow lenses, the clear lenses, we've got the track lights, we've got the rain. Oh. So, Diaco P5 just out of slipstream range, but again, it's still under pressure from Joe. As we see that the heavens have indeed opened up. And I tell you what, the heavens have really opened up now here for the eDTM round 7. Keep an eye on the top right, we've got a driver spun round. Who is that? That's Dougie. Dougie with the first spin, and I was just about to say, look at the tyre marks left. Look at the tyre marks, or track marks that are left as drivers carve their way through the heavy rain here. I hope all drivers have put wets on and not intermediates. Intermediate tyres are not going to cut it in this weather. Nick, well and truly in slipstream range. Make sure he gets on those brakes in time to keep the mid-engined McLaren stable through the right-hander and into the left. Can he make the move on Joe? Joe looking like he's struggling a little bit. You can see them front tyres. He's catching a spin on a few occasions there through that left-hander. And you can see Nick very smooth, and that's beginning to pay off. He's got the slipstream range. Let's see what he does here as he comes up to the final corner. I would not have gone for the move there, I wouldn't have thought, but he's doing it anyway. He's got the inside line. As both black, white and green cars fight it out as they go past the start-finish line here at the high-speed ring. Joe with the cutback, but Nick keeping the car super stable. Look, he's gone from side by side with Joe with an attack, and now nearly a second ahead as they now enter the S's, which just goes to show you stability really is key. And now he's coming up to another driver. The rain has stopped, so keep an eye on the track and watch for where the drivers are driving the lines. You see that corner there? We've got drivers taking different lines there, which means it's going to take longer for that section to dry up. Now, if we go into HUD cam, you can see the lines that are being carved out. Hey, Cherry Bomber, good to see you, brother. Thank you for popping in. I think we're probably very close to bringing this one to a close. We've had action from the beginning. The heavens have opened up. We've got all drivers on some wet tyres. Nick is P6 and now 0.7 of a second from Diaco. Let's have a little look up here then. Goldman 0.3. And Moomin just ahead of Peter there. What incredible racing we have had yet again, as Moomin Papa currently leading the race. Had some difficulties at the beginning and unfortunately lost some positions, but managed to work his way back through, hold off the fight for all this time, hold off the lead and continue for the fight as Goldman and Mike wall ride there in the wet. Yeah, Simon is streaming the AM lobby, I believe. This is the Pro-Am lobby, so there's 3 different lobbies. There's 3 streams. There's another stream as well. Commentator. And we're very close to bringing this to a close. Goldman now finding his way in P2, taking that position from God, we've got incredible action here. Michael Lowry now wanting to take away the podium position from Peter. We've got drama unfolding in the final few moments here. That link is to the 3rd streamer. When I say streamer, he's not really a streamer like play Gran Turismo or anything. He just does the comms and he does play some bits and bobs, but it's there for you anyway, in case you want to go say hello. Give him the obligatory like. Peter, unfortunately, losing out to Mike Lowry there as they go for the final right-hand corner and crossing that line into lap 20. The track is beginning to dry up. Are any drivers going to go in for a set of new tyres? Legend. So, 1.3 seconds then, separating Goldman, who's worked his way from P10 to P2. He is well and truly under. Michael Lowry is absolutely, he's like he's got rocket fuel on. He's running through the pack and seemingly hanging on with Goldman, not quite in slipstream range, which ideally is going to really want at this time of the race. Look at the track begin to dry up. Moomin beginning to pull away from Goldman. And now Goldman is under pressure from Mike Lowry. I've just ordered that 650S GT3 wheel actually from Fanatec. Can't wait to use it. Gonna have to give the McLaren a go, aren't I? But nevertheless, we are on board with the helmet cam of Mike Lowry as they go into the right-hander here. Goldman again on the wall, but seemingly not the fastest line, although it looks like he has got a better exit, just not the fastest through the corner. He's going to well and truly be under pressure here. You can see the spray as Moomin drags the tyres through the wet section of the track there. Now I don't know whether that's to cool the tyres down or whether he doesn't know. Michael Lowry in the pits. Interesting. Okie doke. So Goldman 1 point. Oh no, a second. Now can he get under a second from the race leader of season 4, round 7 of the eDTM here at High Speed Ring in reverse, as we watch the fight for P1 continue as they go through the S's and make their way to the left-hander over the bridge. The stars have gone away, the sun is coming up, the rain has gone, the heavens have gone away. And Moomin with a very wide run there. Goldman seemingly taking a different line. It's like they swapped roles there. So Moomin taking an outside line is on the. He's going onto the wet part of the track there. Now, again, because if you're on wets and it's not wet, they can overheat really quickly. So it's sometimes a good idea to keep them in the wet, like on the straights. Sometimes they can perform even better in wet conditions actually than dry. But again, there's so much to consider and weigh up. And here we are. Goldman is absolutely putting the pressure on Moomin Papa, who's done such an incredible job of holding off P1 for this long. Side by side, and it looks as though Goldman has got that position from Moomin, who's done so well to hold off for P1 there. But nevertheless, you have to give it to the 24 DuPont Aston Martin, driven by the American Goldman. But well and truly in the slipstream range, is he going to make a move? No, he is not. Now, is Goldman going to begin to pull away, or is Moomin just going to bide his time, not push, let Goldman ruin his tyres while he can use his slipstream? But it does appear that he's running away already. Perhaps the tyre choice and pitting time, again, does make massive effects on the end of the race with regards to your choices. Okay, so we've got Nick in the back of the TV shot there, but he is, I think he's going to be pulling in on the slipstream there, but Joe is absolutely tucked in on Diaco's AMG, and now side by side on the outside line. Dirk on the inside line as the AMG and Porsche battle it out, but it looks as though the Porsche has just got it, just able to squeeze ahead of Diaco. My good God, what action this is! Side by side again. Race is now over. This is the final lap. It is all as do or die for these drivers. Can Dirk take a podium, or is Joe gonna sniff it away from him as they come up to the final right-hand corner? He goes for the inside line, Dirk on the outside line. Who's gonna take P3? Is it gonna be Joe in the Porsche, or is it gonna be Dirk, eDTM creator? As they go for the right-hand corner, he's tucked into the slipstream. He's well and truly tucked in. Is he going to have that run? And he's coming on the bumper. He's going to go side by side. And, oh, not quite able to make a podium there. But wow, what incredible action and what an incredible result there for Diaco. But nevertheless, Goldman taking P1 in the number 21-24. Austin Martin DuPont. Big congratulations and a bottle of bubbly to him. Moomin Papa, who I think wins driver of the day with a P1 in qualifying. He's striked back after some initial dramas and took P1, but has lost to a worthy opponent, Goldman. But nevertheless, I think Moomin wins the driver of the day award. Joe, another incredible drive from him. It's great to have him join us in the eDTM series. Again, we do pride ourselves on having this kind of class of driver, and very fair racing, very fair fighting, and very good driving there from Joe, who takes the podium, and he takes it away from DTR Diaco in the AMG, who takes my favourite position, PTMK, of course. P4 is always the best because you are right behind the podium pack there. It's the most exciting position, but nevertheless, he only just lost out to a P3 from Joe there. Maybe could have took a P3. I don't know whether he bumped him at the end there instead of actually making it side by side. But we've got Moomin and Dirk side by side there on the final lap, which is a really beautiful sight actually. Very good friends, I know that they are. Richie taking a well-deserved P5 from Dublin, Ireland. Thank you, Richie, for everything that you do within the community. You're an absolute goat and a good friend. Nick taking P6, caught up in again some dramas, but I think what an incredible performance from him, and what a lovely dude, and really enjoyable streams from him. I can't see the... Alrighty then, well before I go, we'll just recap on the beginning, because I don't know what happened there. Had drastic effects though, I remember that. Looks beautiful, this, doesn't it? What a race, what a race. GG moving, shame about not winning. Let's get on my screen. GG Diaco, well done Richie. At the start, I had the reverse gearing. Oh no, that's what happened. I'm sorry, I mean, that's rough. I'm laughing because I've done it before, and it's the most irritating thing ever, isn't it? Am I in the wrong bit? Yeah, oh no. Horrible race, terrible combo. Sorry, Dougie, mate, that was a rough one. What a great race, guys. Diaco, Joe. Well done, Moomy, well done, Richie. Man, all the shenanigans in the beginning, but hey, I'll take 7th as a welcome back. Michael Lowry, good to see you, brother. Thank you for popping in. Really only learned about the wide lines in the race, had no practice. You did an amazing job, mate. And as long as you've all enjoyed yourself, do you know what I mean? Like, as much as winning is amazing, I think you've got to enjoy yourselves. I'm not saying that you're not, I'm just saying that that's the most important part of everything that we do here. I think, you know, as long as you're having fun. I know Dougie mentioned that he didn't like the combo. For me, and maybe for anyone that's there that's watched a bit of it, if you wanted to comment and give us a little bit of feedback, that would be cool, because I think that the rain was awesome. I do like the weather changes. I know a lot of drivers don't, but it does create a bit of drama, which is always entertaining for the viewer. But of course, we want people to enjoy the driving as well. Like I say, we want it to be fun and all that good stuff. Goldman, congratulations, dude. That's what it looked like to me, but it was like, no way you went in reverse. Last time I had the reverse gear problem with GTS. I had it not lied about 3 weeks ago. Oh, and I think it was a race C. And you know when you do it right at the beginning. No, what a race C, because that's a rolling start. It can't have been race C. Or was it? I don't know. I remember doing it anyway, and it was heartbreaking. Big shout out to DTR. Howdy doodle trash. Tim, you legend, good to see you. Okay, so DTR Diaco, absolutely lovely guy, consider him a very good friend. Is the creator of the eDTM. We're on season 4 now. Incredible stuff. We've definitely grown and all this good stuff. Season 5, it should be another cracker. I was going to check this video to see what had happened, but it appears as though DT... Oh! Dirk! What have you done? You've unleashed anarchy there, my friend. You have unleashed a portal to another world. You just met. So. I'm sure it's frustrating for some of the drivers, so I do apologise if my laughs are offending you, but it's just, I've done it before, I know what it feels like, and that, it looks funny. That would make a good, it's just, you take Goldman out, Goldman Dougie gets sideswiped, and Goldman ends up at the back. Wow. So, Goldman's gone. From a first to last to first. Can we clap it up in chat? Can we clap it up in chat for Goldman? Because that is an incredible effort. Hey Derek, good to see you, mate. Frustrating. He's putting it mildly. I mean, yeah, absolutely, but you have... Right, so Michael... Let's check Michael Lowry out. I mean, Michael Lowry was actually quite lucky there, because they punted him back on. Hazards go on. It reminded me of a race that I saw, actually. And Dougie nearly gets through. What absolute carnage. Dougie, we have to, I'm sorry mate, we have to see it from your perspective. Oh! I can hear Dougie's voice. I can hear what he's saying. This bit here, I can hear his voice, and I can hear what he's saying. Because you're starting a race off and you end up looking at a wall 2 seconds into the race. But you know what? Jokes aside, what an incredible race it's been. What an incredible performance we've had from everyone. What an incredible showcase it's been for Goldman. What an incredible lesson for Diaco. What an incredible race for Moomin. What an incredible... Just all round awesome. I've really enjoyed it. I've genuinely really enjoyed it. That is so going on a video. And I'm going to start it off with sportsmanship. What does it mean? So, Moomin P1, Mugelina's P2. Oh, that was it. That was the first thing I wanted to see what had happened. Mugelina was P1. So I just want to see what happens here. Goldman, who got absolutely destroyed at the beginning and was last, has managed to work his way back through over 28 something laps. The high speed ring in reverse in wet conditions. What happened there, Moomin? Slipstream. A little bit of contact there, which means Moomin runs wide. You go for the outside line. Wow, that could have been so much worse. And then look at all this behind you. Look at the after effect. I remember this happening now. I remember saying it looks like it's going to be 4 or 5 wide into the S's. Alright, let's take a closer look and examine what actually went on here. So, I was thinking that, Dougie. I was thinking if that was ACC, can you imagine? Can you imagine if that was ACC? The carnage. It does make me chuckle. Okay, so Mujolino. See the moon. I mean, look how close we all are. Yeah, really good racing. It's always been an enjoyable one to commentate for these ones. This racing's always been so close and dramatic. Peter from the inside line of Joe. Ian, Nick and Goldman is side by side with Richie there, who just takes his position and now hunts that pack of 4 down, led by Peter. Moomin's got P1. And and Peter's P2. But under incredible pressure from 3, 4, 5 cars really in his rearview mirror. Okay, so Goldman's now worked his way up side by side with Ian. We'll fast forward in a moment. But this is where his dramas unfold, where he's got 4 cars to decipher. Oh, Dougie. Yeah, I mean, the car does look a little bit wobbly on screen, Mujolina. I think you've just the coding and the wobbles and the lag or whatever's just moved the car to the side, and it's just shunted in a touch. We know you don't do it on purpose. We know you're not dirty, mate. To race in eDTM, but I just have no time for the races. It's trash. Since the last update, lagging became a nightmare again. Oh, lots of like spasms. And now Goldman is rocking P3. Doesn't mess about, does he? Okay, so the heavens open up. It's P3. Peter's P2. Lost a position. Heavens are truly opened up. Now he's ahead of Peter and in P2. Three-quarters of the way through the race. Gets the slipstream there for the or rather just after the penultimate corner. So Dougie goes to the side there to allow that leading pack, Moomin and Goldman. He goes wide there, goes onto the wet part of the track. I'm curious. He's just under pressure. Goldman. Yeah, you've done amazing, Moomin, really. I was really rooting for you, but Goldman, I mean, what an incredible performance from him as he takes away your glory there. It's that moment, isn't it? Where it all ended. That moment right there. Well, there we go. It's remembered forever. It's kind of cool how close you are at that one point. So many amazing moments, really, isn't it? But they go so fast because obviously you're racing. But there it is, Goldman taking P1. But nevertheless, incredible effort from you, Moomin. Really was an awesome watch. I really was rooting for you on this one, especially with the P1 qualifying time. I thought you might be able to bag it here. But nevertheless, still an incredible watch. Still an incredible race. There it is. So thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Thank you to everyone that's left that like. The obligatory smashing of the like. And thank you for joining me on this event that has come and now gone. Season 4 Round 7 at the High Speed Ring in reverse. We've had some dramas unfold, it's been a good one, and we've had some incredible racing, and I'm most certainly looking forward to the next one. Look after yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your night, enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you're from. And I most certainly look forward to seeing you next time. Ciao, ciao, folks. Ciao, ciao.